Hello and welcome to part 2 of the 6CW Legacy podcast brought to you by Harlequin Productions. This time it's Ed Kent takes centre stage as we talk about Swans, windmilling, Man Mountain Mike and possibly some current 6CW. So without further ado, let's get on with the show. Hello and welcome to the 6CW Legacy podcast. I am joined today by Ed Kent. Great to have you back on the show, Ed.
Hi Pete, hi everyone else. It seems to me this podcast seems to be things that talks a lot about me on here, so I'm pleased to be back in the mix and actually defend myself this time.
Well, you know, Ed, I mean, we try and get you on every single time and you're always out, so we just use it as a bit of a vehicle for Ed Kent baitery, you know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've picked up on the past podcasts and been thinking, wow, it's been lacking a bit of sparkle. So I'm pleased to be back amongst it.
Yeah. Show last night, obviously victory for the Sunday promos.
Yeah. Well, not just the Sunday promos. I think it's a victory for everyone, isn't it?
I think it was a brilliant show. I'm not going to go into the results because I haven't had time to fully digest it all. But I think we're doing one next week, which you're more than welcome to come on. I know Paul McCarthy's trying to get on.
No, the big boss is he's gonna keep stirring it up, isn't he? He's gonna be saying all these little teasers and just seeing that card just now, I'm thinking, bloody hell, I'm gonna windmill off into space at this rate. Jeez.
So are you coming to the SummerSlam meet?
Am I coming to the SummerSlam meet? Wow. When is the SummerSlam meet? When is SummerSlam?
SummerSlam is the 21st of August. We need this on record if you're coming or not.
The 21st of August, wow. In the words of Rich, I'd book it. Also, pencil it in. Yeah, book it and pencil it in. I'm sure I'll be available, yes.
Okay, no problem. So, just for those that are sort of outside of the Facebook chat, don't know what the SummerSlam meet is, Marky and Matt went to the walkabout in Temple, London, for WrestleMania, and basically it was packed with about 300 wrestling fans, and it were a good laugh. And I suggested it on Facebook chat. Anybody from 6CW that wants to meet up, we'll all meet up on SummerSlam. Do that. Maybe do a bit of a live podcast thing, like in a pub beforehand. Just have a laugh.
I would like to add to that and say you're more than welcome to come and wind me up. That is absolutely fine. You can come and meet everyone else and you can have a few digs at me. That's fine.
Okay, so you asked for some questions earlier, and you certainly got them.
I'm loved, aren't I? So
you are. Possibly got more questions than Declan. I'm not sure.
That's shocking. I'll tell you that is absolutely abysmal.
So, first of all, why did you not bring Mr. Kenty back when you returned?
Well, as when I was last on this poddy with you and the big boss himself, Paul, we did talk about it. Me and the big guy, we did say, was there room for him to come back? And in the end, we kind of agreed that it probably wasn't for the best interest of everyone, including myself, purely because of the level and the depth that we've got currently, and last night's show just emphasises that. I mean, where would you fit him in? And it wouldn't be fair on me or anyone else to shove a character in. So I think really, I said it before, I think he's the old slag. He's a cool guy. Never say never, but I just don't think the time's right, and I think most people will probably agree with that, to be fair.
Well, truthfully, I mean, you've listened to the podcast with Deck, haven't you?
Yeah.
We discussed it. We want Kenny back. You know, fuck Aaron Heath off.
Yeah.
We'll go with it. We'll go Mr. Kenty. He can just take his place. Just one day takes off the mask and it's Mr. Kenty.
Well, at least I know from the podcast before, Mr. Kenty wasn't killed off in a car crash and then brought back to life. So I think that route is
it's open. I was going to go on to that. With the Chris Patrick's dying in a fire, it's very similar to Vince McMahon exploding limo, and then Chris Benoit went on a rampage, and next thing he's back to life.
Well, you could have in a couple of weeks Mr. Jones' limo exploding, and then this big old reveal who's meant to be his illegitimate son a couple of months later, and then what do you know, turn up the trouble, wax on the old sound system, and then Me Too goes absolutely mad into purge mode. So
okay, so does your ma like spooning after sweet lovemaking? That's from Deck.
I thought it would be. I thought the questions would emanate from the sewer in that direction. Does my ma like cuddling after sweet love? Really have to ask her. I mean, I'm sure Deck in his Skype chats would have gained some kind of insight into this logic. I'm afraid I haven't got the answer for you, mate. If I did, I would probably tell you, but you'd have to give me a pretty good reason why. And also that you'd have to pretty much make your house in Ireland available to me to come over any time I want if I fancied a island drinking dish. So the options, Deck. Yeah, but I don't have the answer, mate.
Who on the 6CW roster needs the biggest bowl of bootios?
The biggest bowl of bootios, man, oh man. We've got some pretty angry guys on the roster, haven't we? I mean, I was thinking about this earlier when I saw it, and I thought to myself, you know what? There's the two champions, or one in a couple of weeks that might be a bit under threat. We need to keep this record intact, don't we, guys? Wink, wink. But you got Joshua, you got Liam Wood. I don't even say Engel. Might need a bowl of bootios quick. We're tying with the corporate sort of route you're going down, being a corporate fella and all.
I hope you read more into that than what it is, but
Well, see, then you're playing a good game if I'm going down that route of thinking Engel's turned fully corporate. And who else? I think, Man Mountain Mike. Could Man Mountain Mike actually take a big bowl of bootios or a whole box or two?
Well, we'll talk about Man Mountain Mike later.
Oh, brilliant! Okay. This podcast is already plummeting.
So if you could bring any former roster members back, who would they be and why?
You really want to know the answer?
Well, you've done this whole pre-show thing, and I think I'm a bit scared, but I'm going to go with it. Who would you bring back and why?
There's sort of two directions I could go down. Seriously speaking, first, I always thought people like Aberdeen Steve, who promoted as Jackson Black and rapped on 6WF, he was wicked. He was a really cool dude. I had a lot of time for him actually. He was sound as anything. Who else? Even people like Cable, I would bring back. Purely because no matter what, he would win everything. So if you try to have a back and forth with him, at least it would be on a Sunday, but it would be you wouldn't be able to sort of like get any sort of steam from it. And even people like Rich, and I know, and this is not me being funny or anything, but I know he was a good promo, and he brought something to a federal community. So probably those three. And of course, if you want to go down the absolutely ridiculous route, it would have to be Blade, wouldn't it? There's no answer you want me to give. It has to be Blade or good old Yuru, or is that how you pronounce it, or Quincy? I can't. Quincy, I don't know. Those two guys can come back anytime. See best friends Jimbo.
Talk about Yarmouth Blade. He's got into WWG or whatever it's called, and he's now a decorated champion. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's got to come back at some point.
Well, in my eyes, he's a Legends Club member already, mate. I don't know about you, but give him that ring now. Give him that ring now.
We need to maybe approach him for an open invitation to come to Night of Glory, maybe.
Definitely. Paul, get on it. Chris, Matt, do your work.
This isn't on the Facebook chat, but do you like the Night of Glory theme?
Do I like the Night of Glory theme? Well, oh man. As you're fully aware that I mentioned in the Facebook group chat, Lewis Outsiders, Chris and myself, we designed this sort of a Spotify playlist of the Night of Glory tunes, and funny enough, as I said to Jimbo, who actually won the game before, Chris is a hard man to please. He's a very hard man to please, and I think only three of the songs that I recommend out of a dozen, I think they're all probably pretty shit to be fair, were left in the playlist where Chris added all his. The theme, I like it. I think it works. It does work. Probably not my personal cup of tea, if I'm being honest, but no, it's fine. It's cool. I know where I stand now. It's all a conspiracy theory. I know where I stand.
You see, I like the song. Chris asked if we could use it for the podcast. Chris, I don't want to use it for the podcast because if YouTube ever did sort of listen to this podcast and heard that song, they'd take the podcast down. So it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. They're as big as grass as bloody, what's his name, Liam, for trying to stop me to cry me.
Just going back to the former roster members question, obviously gave a lot of answers. The second part of the question was who would be their first feud. So what I want to go with is who would be Yarmouth Blade's first feud.
You'd have to catapult him into the main event, wouldn't you? The name of that magnitude back into the frame of things. No, I mean, seriously speaking, I really, and this is going back a few years, and we occasionally bring it up on the chat. I actually really enjoyed Jeff Steele versus Yarmouth Blade, and this was, this is going back a few years, but I mean, I remember reading it and thinking this works. It clicked, and it really worked. I think there's plenty of scope for feuds for him to have. I could see Mad Mary Mike versus Yarmouth Blade. I could see, Jack Hurst versus Yarmouth Blade. There's so many options. But no, I'll plumb for Jeff Steele definitely.
Okay, so your next question.
Yeah.
Who's your pick to win the TV title tournament? Now, before we start, Declan came on the show yesterday and pretty much massaged my ego. Please don't. I mean, there's loads of people in 6CW, and there's loads of people left in the tournament. It's early days. I can't see Angle winning it. Storyline wise, I can't see how it'd work, but obviously the creative do a very good job of what they do, so maybe they could. Ed, who would you see winning it?
Well, as you said, you don't count your character out of anything. If it's your time, it's your time. I think in regards to what you said about Angle, I think he will go far in the tournament itself. But I can't personally see him winning it. I mean, it'll be gnarly. It'll be a surprise to me if he won it and then was against someone like Thunder, for instance. That would be that would be cool, but it wouldn't be expected at all. Because as you know on the chat, Chris and Paul have been sort of teasing that the Night of Glory main events maybe a bit we wouldn't be expecting them, or sort of the top end of the matches wouldn't be as what we expected. So never rule it out. Who I think will win it? I do have a sneaky feeling Thunder, because it would represent sort of because he is undoubtedly one of the company's top sort of face characters, if you will. And I think he would go against, one of the heels still left in it. So, no, I would probably say Thunder, to be honest, but I might be wrong.
Okay, so just looking at the match card that has been posted today.
Jeez, wow.
I was expecting the next round of the tournament. I didn't realise that it was going to be a normal show. There's some big matches on there.
Just telling me, mate. I saw it, my head went straight into space, jeez.
I mean, I'm not looking at it right now, but straight off the bat, I can remember Dicey versus Cassius Z and Marshall Murdoch. Obviously, that's a punishment match, from the sounds of it.
Yeah, well, it sounds pretty. The odds are against Dicey almost. I can see him winning that. To be fair, I think. I don't necessarily. I'm not sure if it was a handicap match or, if Cass is out there with Marshall, or, so it'll be interesting to see. But I think Dicey's going to keep on rustling the boss, as it were.
You've also got the main event, which is it's huge, because if Joshua doesn't retain the title, then he doesn't
break the record.
He doesn't break the record. Yeah, if he beats Max Adamson, he breaks Max Adamson's record on that night.
You know what? When I first clicked, I was on my phone and I was just wolfing down some grub in the kitchen, and I looked at it and was like, what? This is the coolest thing I think I could ever imagine, because we were already talking about 2 or 3 weeks ago, saying, oh Christ, what if Joshua does beat the record, or if he loses it, and now it's got me thinking, as I said before, Paul and Chris and Matt have been kind of teasing that the main event might not be as what we thought it might be. So putting two and two together, you think, is Max going to keep his record, and Marky will be, he's going to be happier. So I don't know how it's going to go though. It'll be very interesting, definitely.
Max Addison versus Anthony Grace, Night of Glory main event.
Well, the Oracle himself did yours truly did predict that maybe we might get a bit of Adamson versus Grace round 2. But no, I mean, I said before, I could easily see, I know they had, a match last year, so I could easily see almost a trilogy taking place, and it's not it shouldn't be seen as a bad thing, not at all. I can definitely see this, if they do have a match in Night of Glory this year, it wouldn't be the end. I would only see it as a year's build, like in the forefront of everyone's mind. And it would really, if Grace did turn heel, which I think Darren would do a fantastic job of, conveying that. I think it could be a absolutely, enormous main event for Night of Glory in 2017. So bring it on, because it'll be pretty cool, definitely.
Are you actually on the card?
Am I on the card? I wouldn't be surprised if I wasn't.
Oh, you are. Sorry, it's Cerberus and Crime Lord versus Jimmy Phillips and Aaron Heath.
I think Dee said on the chat it's the battle of the Sunday promos.
Yep. I think the only person out of them that promos regular is Cerberus, isn't it?
No, I think we're all pretty active.
Sorry, I don't mean regular. I mean in the week.
Oh yeah, my bad. I mean they're top boys, aren't they? They're not procrastinators like me. So
no.
Yeah, maybe give me a kick up the arse. But it'll be good. I've promoed with Crimey and Matt in the past, and Paul's a cool guy. We've done some things in the past as well. So bring it on, because that has some good potential, definitely.
The tag team titles are on the line again. Jeff Steele and Mike Hill versus Austin Stevens and Akori.
Standard still.
Secretly, although I hate writing tag matches, I do hope that I get that match, because I've sort of been there for the whole story so far. I've wrote pretty much the entire match series.
Yeah, without dropping any spoilers, wink wink.
It only happened once.
It only happened once, I know your game gallery viewer. No, I mean, no, fair play. I do like how Paul and Matt have kind of, they've kind of joined together, and it's working. It really is. I personally, like to see a bit more between the two of them during the weeks. But no, as I call them, standard steel. I like them. I really do. So I do hope they have a long title reign, and they do, and we do get to really explore how the characters are. So yeah, definitely.
Okay. Robin Reborn versus Engel Harlequin.
Oh, now we're talking. Now we are talking, my friend.
It's
Robin Reborn versus Engel Harlequin. Tough match to call, isn't it, mate? What's your gut feeling?
My gut feeling is there'll be some sort of interference. Personally, I think it's a very good. It shows where Engel is in sort of creative's eyes to have a match against Robin Reborn, but obviously. Curtis Axel had a match with Triple H and then went down the card very quickly, so
Oh man,
it could go one of two ways here.
Don't be silly, man.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to the promos. I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do with Robin. Well, Chris.
It'll be brilliant. I envy you. It's gonna be great.
But I've just got to show him what I can do. At the end of the day, you can't. I feel that when the TV title tournament got announced and I got thrown in with Anthony Grace, I've never promoed with him, so I just went out there, did it, and it were a hit. So I'm hoping I can do the same thing with Chris.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's as Paul has said before, everyone's kept on their toes, aren't they? So yeah, no, it's brilliant. I must say, I finished reading the show this morning when I got up, and I did really enjoy the two things that I enjoyed the most, actually. Who actually wrote the Joshua segment? Do you know who wrote it?
I don't know who wrote it.
No.
I haven't had any segments for a while. So I've just been writing matches.
First. Yeah, you're the real hero then. I mean, whoever wrote that segment, I was reading it and thinking, this is mega, this is special. So
it was very good.
My imaginary cap to you, good sir. And the Engel and Grace match, I really enjoyed that one as well. I thought they were the two, and obviously the stuff with what's his name, Jones and Kramer. That's building up to be something pretty big. So yeah, definitely.
Okay, so going back to your questions, because there's two more.
Bloody hell.
I know.
Wow.
I could actually we've got plenty of time. I could actually probably just get more questions in and get some more. But
Yeah. Well, I've got 25 more minutes. Your A-lister, can answer another couple of questions, can't he?
Okay, so what is your biggest windmilling moment in 6CW history?
Oh yeah, Ollie asked me this, didn't he? It was Ollie, yeah.
Yeah.
Oliver Edwards, Jesus Christ. The biggest windmilling moment of 6CW history. There's been so many. I mean, if you're talking about the new sort of era, I got to say what struck me so far in this new era, and it's not a single event as such, but it's a case of just the whole flipping community is just literally on it from day one, and this is people like yourself, Pete, and people like Dee, Liam, and even Deck as well. Within seconds of the car going up, I bet you're all going to flip in promo after this, especially you, Pete.
I am going to be promoing straight after this, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just delaying you, aren't I, mate? if you got to do it, your creative juices are literally going wild. cut me off right now.
I'm not gonna cancel the promo or cut you off, podcast or cut you off just for the promo. But I've got 2 promos in mind at the minute. I've got. I'll do the questions first. We'll do the questions first. So.
I mean, you know, as I said, and that's probably the biggest thing for me, and it just shows how how big it's getting now, and especially I know I was only taking a mickey the other day when I said 35 promos. That's shite. What did we get for Day of Reckoning? Was it like what?
51 was it?
60?
Yeah, 50 something.
We're very mediocre at the minute, aren't we? And in regards to the old era, that's made me kind of go, Jesus Christ, I need to get the chopper out. It was probably, to be fair, the Lex Hart reveal as Genesis, because as Deck mentioned yesterday, that was so unexpected, and I was just sat there going, okay, this is, let me just drop my trousers and just windmill off into the sunset.
My biggest windmilling moment is pretty much being allowed back into the CW universe. To be fair,
Jesus Christ, how did you manage to get in, Pete?
I know. I don't. I'm on like Yarmouth Lade level of promo at the minute, so
Are you on watch as well? You're still on probation period.
Yeah, I still have a probation period. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
So we've already asked if you come into the SummerSlam meetup. Got you penciled in, but if you do come, we've spoke about getting dressed up.
Oh God! Jesus Christ.
Now, personally, because I'm getting there so early, I don't know how it's going to be imaginable for me, because I'm not walking into a Wetherspoons dressed as Randy Savage or Hulk Hogan. Because I'll get funny looks. But if we are going to go dressed up, who would you dress up as?
Well, first and foremost, if anyone can categorically convince me that dressing up is gonna enhance any rep or dignity that I have, please obviously get into my inbox or send me a message on the chat, because I don't think I will dress up. But if I had to, if there was a gun pointed to my head, and if every single one of you said, Ed Ken, if you do not come dressed up, we will literally, I don't know, kick you off the, permanently sin bin you or something, whatever. I would probably dress up as, who could I dress up as? Well, Ollie bet me if I somehow became a different man, he would give me 100 quid. I'm not sure the police would take kindly to that. But I would probably, it'd have to be Triple H. I'm sorry, it would have to be Daddy H, because it's easy. Jeans, leather jacket.
It's easy, but you wouldn't look anything like him.
Huh?
It's easy, but you wouldn't look anything like him.
Oh, exactly, but that's the thing.
Are you going to grow the hair, or are you going to just shave it off?
I can even shave it off, or get a wig somewhere. That's fine with me. Get some sunglasses on, get a water bottle. What more do I need? Well,
I mean, I've been looking at it, and there's like a fancy dress competition, and then there's like a promo competition as well. So you win prizes. So it might be worth giving it a go. I'm gonna give it my best Macho Man impression for certain.
It depends what the prizes are, mate. That's where if it's a night with Eva Marie or anything like that, then yeah, definitely. But if it's a voucher to go and see, I don't know, or a discount to go and do something, I'm not too asked.
If it's something to do with London, then there's no point to me because I'm not there. But I can give it to one of you guys.
You're a top bloke, so I fully expect that to be whipped in my pocket when you're all looking after me drunk at 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm not even going to survive SummerSlam if I do go.
Okay, so Man Mountain Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
The big dude.
We had a conversation on the Facebook chat yesterday about him. As Paul said, very difficult to get him on the card. I don't think that I helped myself by making him such an unrealistic character.
Well, the Great Khali was what? How tall was the Great Khali?
He was of similar height, but
didn't he have a feud with the Undertaker?
He did. You see, the thing is, when Great Khali came in, he had a feud with Triple H, Undertaker. He was a champion as well. He was a champion.
It's all, as I said earlier, it's all a conspiracy. It's an utter conspiracy. I think Man Mike needs to press his mat further, unless you change the manager to a sort of a device or type sort of dude going nuts. You know, you could have try and distance yourself from the Swans or whatever it is, and just try and like, this is Man Mountain Mike. You know, he's a giant. You could have instead of a Punjabi prison match, you could have some sort of like Scottish chamber or haggis, something. I don't know, something like that. And you know, just push the fucking point. It's a conspiracy. It is a conspiracy. Unfortunately,
I am gonna take him back to the drawing board.
No, Pete, you can't. You've already dismantled Teresa. This is what's going on there.
We're talking about two promos that I'm going to do after this podcast, and the second one is going to be Man Mountain Mike getting sent out of 6CW.
You've just literally destroyed my heart. Literally, you know what you've just done? You've reached through my phone and tore my heart out. This is an utter no. I will go on record saying if it's required, I will demand. No, I need Heath to actually just go, you know what, bin this. If Man Mike's not around, sod it. This is madness. Pete, no.
What can I say, man? You know, I might bring somebody else in just to help out the card when there's like inactive promos and stuff. But you know,
another one from Cherry Falls.
You see, the problem I've got there is I could bring in the Rain Man.
The Rain Man.
Did you read the Asylum promo?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. I'm sorry. I was just looking out my window thinking, Man Mountain Mike. What are you thinking of me now? No, Rain Man. Yeah, well, you know, mate.
A lot of material there.
Yeah, no. I mean, seriously speaking, you know, you got to do what's right for you. I think, you know, I've always thought that, you know, having one character is, you know, if you can build on it and, you know, enjoy it, is better than having two, because I think two, you can obviously enjoy it, and, you know, and it's great doing. But I think sometimes if you only have one for a set period of time, it does, you know, you are more enhanced in that character. So yeah, it's up to you at the end of the day, mate.
I mean, on a serious note, a very serious note, you know, if I was to keep promoing as Man Mountain Mike, then at some point he's going to hold Angle back, because you know, Night of Glory 2017 main event picture, it's going to be Man Mountain Mike every single time. So,
but you know, I mean, because you did, I do remember you said you did bring this character in because you wanted a heel type that, you know, your goal would be, correct me if I'm wrong, but you did say that you wanted kind of this character to be almost like a Rusev character, so he beats the small guys, and, you know, when he comes against, you know, an up-and-coming face that, you know, is a couple of months from being pushed up the roster, say, he would then lose at a pay-per-view. I generally thought that was the plan.
It was, yeah. And I am, when I said I was being really serious, I was being really sarcastic. You see, at the moment, there's no room on the card for him. He's 7'5", so he's a big guy, and you know, maybe I can sort of bring him back a little bit shorter and a little bit less silly, you know, a few months down the line when he's required. You know, that is an option, but at the moment he's just going to be sent into 6CW purgatory.
With Teresa, this is an absolute.
You see, you brought Teresa back at the pre-show.
I did. Did you enjoy it?
I did.
See, there is still space for these characters. It's just using the correct use of them. That's all.
Exactly. With Teresa.
Yep.
There was a part in the previous promo I wrote about Teresa basically being sent with Angle to sort of help him make the decisions that he finds really difficult to make. So there is scope there at some point.
I remember you did say, you know, in those promos, and that was kind of the sort of reason why I didn't want Teresa to go completely out of the limelight, as it were. So I did remember reading that, yeah. So that was kind of a trigger in my head to use it.
In terms of Engel as a heel, that's another reason. Obviously, my Mighty Mike's gone for a while because Engel is sort of healing it up a little bit at the minute, and I'm really enjoying doing the serious heel thing.
I must say I do think, you know, Engel he does suit the heel role, or is it the face role? What is it, Pete? Tell me.
It's Liam Wood's level of. we didn't have any Liam Wood banter with Deck, so yeah.
I'm like a human recycling fan, aren't I? So no, I do think it works for Engel. I guess you just got to keep on trucking along, don't you, and just see where it ends up. But I think it's going in the right direction. But as I said before on the other podcast, I love it, man. So keep it up, definitely.
Anyway, we'll talk about Aaron Heath now because we talked about my characters. Let's talk about Aaron Heath.
Aaron Heath, wow.
Okay, so
scraping the bottom of the barrel, Pete.
Well, you got to at some point, haven't you?
Yeah.
I think he's a very good character. I said this on the podcast yesterday. I think he is a very good character.
Yeah. No, I'd agree. I think he's he's alright, isn't he? Doesn't just happy to be there, isn't he? He enjoys himself.
What is your sort of inspiration for him? Is he based on anybody current or past, or is he just like a? He's not really based. No, he's not really based on anyone, to be honest. I just remember one fine summer's evening last year and just going, you know what, this needs to be given another try. And I remember, ironically enough, speaking to Matt, and I said, what kind of name would be cool? What kind of name would sounds pretty decent? And we went through some names, and I kind of thought, you know what, Aaron fucking Heath. Not bad. So we'll throw that in the mixer. But honestly, no, he's not really based on anyone. I mean, I would, as Chris kind of said a couple of podcasts ago after Day of Reckoning, he kind of saw Heath as a young sort of Adamson heel, which I took as a massive compliment. I thought that was very cool. I thought that was very. I really enjoyed that, and I thought it was top dollar. And I mean, if I could say just picking a name out of WWE, I would say someone like either obviously Daddy H from the early 2000s, late 90s, and a mix with sort of Randy Orton from 2004, sort of that legend killer sort of thing. I don't know how well it's working, but I think I think it's going okay. I know what I need to do, and it's not easy to guess. It's not easy to. Well, it is very easy to tell what it is. It's just I don't know. I mean, I love the religious undertones. I think your promos are really good.
Thank you.
I do enjoy reading them on a Sunday night.
On a Sunday night, you're all tucked. Hopefully you're all, just winding down for the evening. You've got the.
Usually I'm working, but.
Yeah, no, well, okay. So on a day off, for instance, on a Sunday day off, you get to you've been having a lovely day with the missus. You're in bed, nice and snuggled in. And you're thinking, I'd check that crazy V2 site, that crazy group chat with all those absolute nutters talking absolute arse gravy, and you go on the site, and Mr. goes, "Do you want a cup of tea?" And you're like, "Yeah, go on, and yes please." So you get your cup of tea, and you see one of my promos, shortly followed by Perfect Jack's promo or Nays on a Monday morning, and you're like, "Yeah, this is cool. This is all chill. This is very So if you want to spin on his head, I'm just easing you into the week almost.
That is a very, very beautiful picture you've just spoken. Sorry.
I sound like Roberto Martinez.
Yeah. Are you?
Fraud.
Is Ed Ken a tea and snuggles kind of guy then?
If you play your cards right, Peter. I'm very much no. I've never Netflixed and chilled in my life actually.
We've got another question. If you could promo for any character on the roster just once, who would it be and why?
What a question that is. What a question. Who asked that one actually?
Ollie.
Ollie, what a legend. You know what? It would have to be Lex Hart. And the reason why, I think Lex is just he is one of the those type of characters that you instantly sort of it clicks in your head. This is 60W. This is old school 60W, and this is Lex Hart with obviously Paul promoing, adapting to the new sort of era, if you want, of 60W. And I think having those characters is so crucial to how 60W progresses almost. I'd argue people like obviously Deck with Dicey and yourself, Pete, with Engel, and obviously Matt with Cerberus. You guys have seen, and apologies if I missed anyone out, I may have done, but you guys, you've seen what it was before, and I know I've got a new character, but obviously the old washed up has-been, it was on the old side of it, so I do know what the old stuff was about. But this new era, it's so important to have you guys around. So out of that bunch, I'd choose Lex, definitely.
What I enjoy so much about it, it's so on the fly. I mean, you look at the Extreme feud. I know I talk about my character a lot, but you look at the Extreme feud and you look at the three guys. Suddenly, the match stops, and that feud just suddenly stops. But then it goes on to something better because you've got a TV title tournament. Night of Glory is sort of up in the air.
Yeah, you can't predict it, and I know, and I know at the time it did, it did cause a bit of,
That's all washed over now, Ed. It's just...
I'm not like trying to open up old wounds or try and wind you up or anyone else up. But I at the time I could understand the frustration, and obviously you worked your asses off. But looking back now, do you think that was the best action to do? Because if you look at the full scope now, I think it's in such a strong position, and the guys who were involved in that match, including yourself, look very, very strong. So, it's in a way, I think that match, I know it's a long time ago now, and it's not my intention to annoy or cause mayhem or whatever, but I think those sort of situations, I do think if you just look in the next few months, it's just set up completely, and as Chris said, the team would look so sort of like, shit, just going, okay, this is how it ends, bye, see you later, and then never do that, let's face it. So, it's in a good place, definitely.
You can't keep topping extreme after extreme after extreme, because like I've said, the Extreme title feud, you could only really have a pay-per-view match.
No, exactly.
So there were no matches in between, and to be honest, I'm glad for it. The decision was well done.
Yeah. And I mean, arguably, I could easily, and I know I said this earlier about Engel, but maybe it would be a shock if you won it. But thinking now, it would not surprise me in the slightest, because I could easily see Engel in the final, but because you know what, it would be such a, having been so close to the hardcore title, and now becoming this sort of like sort of best for business sort of character, it would make sense. So I retract all of my previous statements. I retract all.
You did that on purpose, didn't you, Ed? You wanted to stroke my ego, but because I said you not to.
No.
I'm joking.
The point is literally like, I could see, it would be a twist, and I could so easily, they don't call me the Oracle for nothing, do they?
They don't. So I know we're running close to time, but what I was going to try and speak about was with how the Extreme title feud happened and ended. It showed that obviously current 6CW can just change on the fly, and what I was trying to get at is that the old 6CW stuff, a lot of it, you would have a feud, and no matter what happened, whether people became inactive or things didn't work out as planned, that feud went on regardless. Storylines went on regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's a lot of current 6CW stuff, just as an example, involving Engel, where they talk about Circus of Horrors, and I wasn't a part of it. I promoted maybe twice, and then I just sort of disappeared.
Who was in charge?
Dubois.
Theo, gorgeous Theo. See, this is madness.
So in that sense, it is so much better.
Exactly.
And I'm looking forward to what's to come. I think the foundations are there for 6CW to last for a very long time.
You know what? I'll be gutted if they weren't. Definitely.
Well, if suddenly it stops, I'm gonna try my best to keep it going. But Ed,
look out, guys! You've got a bit of competition coming.
No, I didn't say that. Ed, are you?
Yes, sir.
Did I don't know if I asked you on the last podcast. Are you part of the Extreme tournament?
Am I part of the Extreme tournament? I don't think I am actually, mate.
No. Are you going to put Aaron Heath in the tournament, or?
Well, you'd have to wait and see, won't you? No, I don't know. I mean, I honestly speaking, I want to see how the first time it goes round and just see what it's like. How many guys you got now?
Currently, I think we've got 6, which is it's an uneven number because I need to have obviously enough for tournament brackets.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, when are you doing it again? June, July, is it? Or?
I'm sure it's the month after Night of Glory, so I think it's.
So August or.
It might actually be the week after.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it today anyway, and I'm going to get an advertisement out there. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, personally, I'd rather just see how it goes first, and then if you do another one, I'll probably join in with that. I just want to, see how it rolls. But of course, if you need a hand writing anything, just give me a shout.
I'm going to need some segments, so.
I'm your man.
Yeah, I've actually wrote the opening.
Yeah.
Sounds as nice. It stands, and then just go with it from there. But anyway, I think you've got to go and do business. So.
Oh, you got me for another 8 minutes.
Oh, 8 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Let's got another 8 minutes.
What can we talk about in 8 minutes, Ed?
What can we talk about? The group chat, the site, what's going on in 6CW. I don't know actually.
Let's talk about Liam Wood.
Let's talk about Liam Wood. Okay.
So,
what would you like to know?
I think we've established now that we cannot decide what alignment is. So.
Yeah, it still stumps me to this day.
So I think we should just go all out tweener.
I would agree. I would agree on that, definitely. I think we could have a poll, but I don't think the poll would be helpful.
50-50 split, face heel on the poll.
Tweener.
Who won the eFedder World Cup, by the way?
It was Paul Derbyshire. He beat. Actually, I was going to say that earlier. And this is, you know, I'm only jesting when I say this, but I'm thinking, wasn't my fill-in tournament a bit of a catalyst for this TV tournament? Am I right? No, just coincidental, isn't it? How convenient.
You see, I mentioned to Paul about doing the Extreme tournament. I think it were in December.
Oh, so you're the catalyst then.
And he said to me, and don't quote me because I'm not 100% on the wording, but he said something along the lines of, "Yeah, do that Extreme tournament because it kind of plays into a storyline we're doing in the future." So, so you see,
Pete Poynton, what a guy!
That, to me, the death of Extreme in 6CW and the rise of the Extreme tournament, and then the TV title tournament as well.
You bloody contribute a flipping lot, don't you?
I think they should. I think they should call me the Oracle now, Ed.
Yeah. Well, are you a part of the prediction league?
I am, but my predictions are poor every single time.
Yeah, man. Well, there's always room for more competition in there. So, no. I completely forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, no. On the whole, this TV title thing's going to be absolutely mad. I can't pick who's going to win. To be honest, it's just so open. Yeah. Viva 6CW, get to ours. Prepare for windmilling. What other things what other crap do I say that the people would like to hear?
I don't think there's many things you do say that people would like to hear.
No, true. True.
Well, you know,
I love you all, really. I'm only being a donut.
We all love you, Ed. In all truth, we all love you. If you weren't a part of the chat, then it just goes downhill straight away.
The proof's in the pudding. Jesus Christ! I had a couple of things the other day. I had a couple of lectures and some PowerPoints and whatever. And I got back and was just like, 3 messages. What is going on? Have you all just become sensible again? You're not being influenced by this crazy lunatic, you know, spouting all kinds of shite and telling Tinder girls to come and sit on my face, you sturdy angels. You know. Oh dear. No, yeah, you guys are boss. Say no more. Everything I say, ignore it. Just take it with a pinch of salt.
Okay. Hopefully, we'll get you on the show next week.
Please do. I'd be more than happy to be joined with Paul Mack, my brother, Paul Mack.
Twin brother.
Yeah, twin brother. Well, you know, Jesus Christ, if you got Matt on here as well with me, I think it'd be absolute carnage. And, you know, I feel shocking I wasn't managed to get on the show with Deck last night, because that would have been total mayhem as well. So.
We are getting Deck on the podcast again.
Oh man, I tell you what, we need you know, I know Skype can be a bit funny, but if we got a big old group of us, could you imagine? Oh my god.
Well, like I said to Deck, if we can get a few people on the SummerSlam meet, and we've got so many people live, and then we can Skype other people to come in whenever they want. So, you know,
that'd be mayhem, absolute mayhem.
There is potential there for a Royal Rumble of podcasts.
Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful thing, absolutely beautiful thing.
Absolutely beautiful. So anyway, Ed, thank you for being on the show.
No, pleasure always, Pete.
I don't think we actually covered any topics, but
we had a good laugh.
We did. It's always great talking to you, mate.
Yeah, you too, pal.
And I will see you again soon.
Yep. Bye, guys. Bye.
That was the 6CW Legacy podcast. Thank you for listening. I did try and do 3 podcasts this week. Unfortunately, I cannot get any guests for tomorrow night. So that will be it for this week. As I said on the podcast, we will be getting another podcast next week with Paul McCarthy. Fingers crossed. Thank you for listening, guys. It's been great. Catch you later.